Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15.3, or is it 15.4? I'm losing count because today has been a day of internet problems. I've been doing these, this is probably my fourth attempt of doing a proper episode, hence why the first episode, episode 15.0, you saw wasn't as long as normal because as I was doing it I lost the internet. So I'm having one of those dodgy internet connection day, sadly, so let's hope that this version can complete episode 15. So yes, this is kind of like episode 15, the fourth attempt. So from the last 15.0 episode we were telling you how certain sides get into Europe and what they do and what European football they face. So we'll quickly now show you what's been going on with the side. We've still got too many players in the side, but we've actually sold two players now. Toineven has gone over to the champions Gothenburg for 2.5 million, and Strindberg has gone to Coventry in England for 1 million. So we've got another 3 million in the bank, which will do good, and the 3 million came in there. There you go. There's a 3 million there, 3.5 million. So our bank balance is pretty healthy. So that's good. So I was going to tell you about another tip into finding those really good players during pre-season. As you know, during pre-season, if a side falls into the relegation zones and any players on the free and relegation clause, then those are then freed. And sometimes those players can actually be international players. Managersim has got an international simulator, but no human manager can currently manage an international side. They're only there to be shown. You can see that in the European, if you go into the national cups and European championships, you can see the countries. Here's all the countries, but currently no human manager can manage these countries. It's only for show, really. But sometimes when you go into these countries and you're in pre-season, some internationals might actually be free transferred. So it's worth looking at some certain countries and see if you find any. But always bear in mind, other than the big main countries, if you go to smaller countries, they might not be skillfully enough to join your side, but you can always give it a go. So let's go to Sweden, as we're in Sweden, and you go to players, and then you go to miscellaneous, and then you look down here. Now all these players have got clubs, and some of them are pretty big clubs. So if you think the club is a smaller club than you could actually try to put a bid in. But for instance, if you're going to go for this player here and he's valued at 4 million, you might have to put a bid in for say 20 million and see if it aggravates a big club clause or anything like that. But if you're extremely lucky, which we might not see in any of these examples sadly, is if you go to any other country in their national team and then players and then miscellaneous, no, it's not here. You might see no club here. If you see no club here, then this international player is on a free transfer, which means you can go and buy him for free. The wage might be high, but if you find one, then see what his stats are like. If his stats are good or even better than your first team, then, sorry about that, there's dogs barking out there, then definitely try and see if you can get him, if he can boost your side, because you're not losing anything because you're getting him for free. But this happens quite rarely though. So for instance there's no players on a free transfer. But again, there might be players, no disrespect to these clubs might be a lower level than you. That's also one other thing you need to check. When pre-season starts, see if your level has moved up. That means your club has actually got a bit more famous. If the club has gone up a level, then your crowds should increase, but you might get a little bit more pressure from the board to do well. So we are now level 3. So I think our level has gone up by 1. We're now the 7th best youth academy. Our stadium is still being expanded. The board want us to, as we know from the last episode, the board want us to be at least be really happy if we finish 3rd, and I think we can get 3rd. So barring a miracle, hopefully I will be able to finish this episode because the internet seems to be holding at the moment. So we've currently got 47 players, we've got too many defenders, we've got too many defenders, too many midfield attackers, so hopefully we will keep these. Hopefully get some bids for these defenders and midfield attackers. If not, we might have to free transfer some players, sadly, to get that down, because the more warnings you get from the board, the more they might not want to keep you and eventually sack you. And we don't want that, do we? So yeah, midfield attack, there's no real ones I really want to get rid of. So I might actually list a player, but put such a high transfer fee up that he probably hopefully won't get a bid, but that will keep the board happy. Because if I list him, then I go to midfield attackers. That should be down to 8 now, which is a bit more bearable. So okay, I'll do this same for the defence. Nordfeldt. Yeah, you're approaching, you just turned 18 and you're 68, so I hope you improve. I'll give you one more season. Anyway, I'll list you for, say, 5 million. I should not get any bids for that. And then that should get the board off my back, basically. Down to 8. Yeah, they might still moan a bit, because I think they really want it down to 7. But that's one way of trying to get the board off your back for a little while, if you've got too many players. But again, I need to sell some players. Okay, so for instance, 7 attackers. Kalmark, you're still not getting any bids, and I think your transfer list price is much lower now. Yeah, still no bids. I might even have to free transfer you soon. What is your scout report like? 8.2. Yeah, you're not good, are you? So I might even free transfer you soon. So that shooting stat of 90 is quite a false one. He's got some good secondary stats there, but his actual overall rating is only 8.2, which for us is below par, which is not great. Which means, yeah, you can see that by his scoring record. Scoring record's terrible. He's played 60 games and 61 games, and he has scored, this is a striker, remember, 4 goals. Not good, is it? So I might actually free transfer him if he doesn't get a bid soon, just to get 1 player less. It might cost me a bit. Yeah, if I release a player now, he'll cost me £42,000. Well, that's not too bad, but I'll give him a few more ticks, see if I get any bids in. But if he doesn't, then I'm going to sell you. Sorry. Okay, so the next episode 16, hopefully a full episode, I will let you know how the season would have started well by then, and I'll tell you how we're getting on. It's sad we're not in Europe, but there you go, we did have a tough choice. Hopefully if we finish higher in the table, we might get a better draw next time, a much easier route, and hopefully our side will develop more. My aim is to play as many of the good 17, 18 or even 16 year olds as games as much as they can to boost their stats, and then hopefully we'll keep most of them. We could sell 1 or 2 to make a massive profit if we get some decent bids, but that's all for the future. So thanks very much for tuning in to this part 2 of episode 15, and if you like these beginner videos, then please let me know, and I'll chat to you soon. Goodbye.